Thank you for joining us today. The webinar will begin shortly. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for the webinar on assistive technology. My slides are a little bit slow getting going, so give me just a moment. All right, here we go. So my name is Lisa Turner, and I'm the Executive Director of the ARC of Oklahoma, formerly known as TARC. And I came to the organization after 20 years working in the nonprofit and business world, and as a mother of two daughters, one of which who's 19 years old and has multiple developmental disabilities, including autism. And so my passion for the work that we do here at the ARC of Oklahoma is fueled by my personal involvement as a caregiver and family member of someone with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and also just my yearning for wanting to ensure that all individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities can achieve the best life possible for them. So thank you again for joining us today. Before we get started, we have a couple of housekeeping items. So this video will be recorded. So if you or a colleague are unable to watch it live, then you can share it out with them. We'll post that on our social media components. Today, we'll be using the question and answer feature for you to submit questions from our expert. And if we run out of time and do not get to your question, then please email those to Sherilyn Walton at the email address found on the screen. This is the third of 4 webinars the month of October, and so we hope that you will follow us and join next week's webinar on transition services as well. So a little bit more about our change from TARC to the ARC of Oklahoma. We're now the state chapter of the ARC of the United States, which is the nation's largest organization advocating for and with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So right now we're in a rebranding component where we are still showing our old name TARC. That will officially drop on November the 1st when we become the ARC of Oklahoma. Our services will still stay the same. We'll continue to provide lifelong opportunities and programs for individuals from birth all the way until they're aging and need end-of-life care. And we do that for a number of, we advocate in a number of ways and also provide programs that meet gaps that are in our community. One of the programs that many of you are probably very familiar with and is one of our most popular programs is our Family Support Services. And so we're very proud to have Sherilyn Walton and Hannah Chaboya working in that program with families to assist them with navigation of services, to educational advocacy, and to even representation at IEP meetings. The program, again, is led by Sherilyn Walton. She's a licensed clinical social worker and a former special education and general education teacher. And she's been with the organization around almost 25 years now. And Hannah is our bilingual resource navigator, and she offers IEP support in Spanish, resource referral, and also hosts our Spanish support groups. So today I'm pleased to introduce our guest speaker, Linda Jaco. Linda is the Director of Sponsored Programs in the Department of Wellness for Oklahoma State University. She received her master's degree in social psychology from Columbia University in 1977 and her bachelor's in secondary education and child development from the University of Houston in 1974. In February of 2006, Linda was appointed Assistant Director for Sponsored Programs in the OSU Department of Wellness, where she oversees a number of private, state, and federal grant programs totaling in excess of $4 million annually. Linda has served on a number of national, state, and local task force and boards related to disability and agricultural issues. Linda, thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank you to everyone else with TARC, or should I say the ARC of Oklahoma. Congratulations on your new rebranding. It's my pleasure to be with all of you today. Thank you for that great introduction. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Able Tech, but hopefully following this brief presentation, you'll not only be familiar, but you'll be ready to use our services. Ready to begin whenever you are ready to scroll through the PowerPoint. Okay, I'll just start by briefly telling you a little bit about Able Tech. We're actually one of 56 programs. There is one in every state and territory of the US. So while each one may have a unique name, we are part of a large group of programs that are federally funded through the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Administration for Community Living. And we moved over to that department in 2014 with the passage of the WIOA, which is the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. So what does Oklahoma Able Tech do? And what do other AT Act programs do? We serve people of all ages, all disabilities across the entire state in an effort to increase access to and acquisition of assistive technology. The mission for all programs would be the same, whether you live in Rhode Island, California, or Oklahoma. So let's first talk a little bit about what is this thing, AT? What is assistive technology? I think frequently people confuse it with expensive electronic equipment, when actually AT is anything that helps a person with a disability to do a task easier, better, faster or more efficiently that might otherwise be difficult or impossible to do without it. And it includes a range from very low-tech kinds of things that can be found around the house to mid-tech items, which typically have some kind of electronic component to it, to the more high-tech that most people, I think, are familiar with when they think about assistive technology. Let's think just for a moment about, what the possibilities or the ranges of AT could be. I frequently like to ask a question, and the one I'll use today is, could a TV remote control be considered AT? Well, the answer is yes, but it's yes for those that helps them do something they wouldn't otherwise be able to do. I myself could get up and walk over to the TV, make the volume louder, lower, change the channel. But for those with physical impairments, for them, it becomes a piece of AT. So that's when we think about it being anything, that's what I want you to be thinking about as we chat more today. Also, the part of the definition, I'll start saying next, and I think that will help you if you can go back one. Also, it's a two-part definition in that assistive technology is the device, which we just chatted about, anything that can help you do something you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. But frequently people forget about the fact that it's also the service that's directly assisting an individual with a disability in either the selection, acquisition, or use of the AT device. How do you know what AT is going to help you? How do you go about acquiring it or paying for it? Once you get it, who's going to help you if it needs to be recharged, or if it's a more complicated speech device? Who all needs to learn about that speech device in order to assist and support the individual that's going to be using it? The teacher, the parent, the bus driver, the cafeteria worker? I realize, of course, we're now many people are working, going to school and learning remotely, but who is going to help with all these different components? So